Hi, this is Nev Lapwood from Snowboard Addiction. We're up at Whistler Blackcomb, and this is a tutorial on switch riding. When you first learn to snowboard, you generally ride in one direction until you're relatively confident. At this point you start doing jumps, learning to butter, entering the train park, which is when you realize, oh, I need to learn how to ride switch. To do a 180, you gotta ride switch. For a ton of buttering tricks, you have to ride switch. If you want to land a boardside to fakie, you gotta ride switch. And this is the case for countless other tricks. At this stage you start to learn switch and realize, oh man, I've never tried this and I suck at it. Starting out. To get good at switch, the first thing you gotta do is get out there and force yourself to do it. You gotta go ride switch as much as you possibly can. Whenever you're on a cat track or a boring run, ride it switch. A good thing to do is to take at least a full run out of every single day and ride that run completely switch. A good challenge is to try riding a chairlift switch with your opposite foot strapped in. This is going to force you to do movements you're not comfortable with, but you need to put yourself outside of your comfort zone to expand your comfort zone. It's also very good for your muscles to ride switch, which helps develop them evenly through both sides of your body. Getting good at riding switch will make you a far better all-round rider and will greatly increase your confidence when riding regular. You'll wonder why you didn't learn this earlier. Boob turns. An entry-level tactic that you can do to start to learn switch is boob turns. Find a wide, quiet run. Look up and make sure there's no one you can take out. Set off downhill, take a little bit of speed, begin a toe edge turn and turn all the way around until you come back up the hill. As your board comes to a stop, roll to your heel edge and continue downhill doing a switch heel side turn. You end up doing a big W shape across the run. One regular turn, followed by a switch turn. On the other side of the run, sit off on your heel edge. Go downhill to get a bit of speed and do a big heel edge U. Come up the hill, and as you come up to a stop, roll onto your toe edge, then continue downhill with a switch toe side turn. I call this exercise boob turns because once you can do it good, your path in the snow should resemble a big pair of smooth, round boobs. Repeat this until you feel your boobs are a good shape. This is a good exercise for first-time switch riders because it lets you learn to switch edges at slow speed with low consequences. Leaning downhill. When riding in your normal stance, your body is leaning downhill at the same angle as the slope. So by default, your body is used to leaning forwards towards your front foot. When you turn around and try to ride switch for the first time, you're so familiar with being downhill forwards towards your front foot that your weight tends to stay over that foot, which is now your back foot, resulting in you leaning too far back. This is the most common problem I see with riders learning to ride switch. Having their weight too far back. You need to put the majority of your weight downhill towards your new front foot. If you don't do this, you're going to find it very difficult to make your switch turns smooth. To get your weight far enough forward, go to a mellow run. Set off riding switch, and as you're about to make each turn, see if you can lift your back foot off the snow a little bit. Do 2 or 3 taps, make a toe edge turn. 2 or 3 taps, make a heel edge turn. It should be very easy to lift your tail and tap. This is how you know whether your weight is far enough forward or not. Once you've got these turns happening easily, you can stop doing the tap, relax, and make it look normal again. The whole idea is to get your weight leaning downhill so you can make your switch turns smooth and effortless. Spin 360s. When learning to ride switch, people tend to forget about basic stuff they already know, such as getting on your edge early for each turn. If you find your switch turns feeling catchy on your edges, then you're probably riding with your base too flat. Instead, you need to get on your edge very early for each turn, like you do in your normal riding. A very good activity to develop smooth and early edging for switch riding is to spin 360s on the snow. Find a relatively flat run for this, and watch out for other people. Head off downhill and try to spin a 360 4 times on the snow. Whether you realize it or not, you're using a regular turn followed by a switch turn. Regular turn, switch turn. You don't even know it, but you're improving your switch turns and edging by sliding these 360s. It also helps to give you a very even position over both feet and gets you used to always being on the correct edge before the turn happens. Do the exact same thing, but in the opposite direction. This is going to develop the other switch turn. Regular turn, switch turn. Regular turn, switch turn. Do this slowly as many times as you need until you feel comfortable in both directions. But I recommend only doing 4 360s at a time to prevent getting too dizzy. If you're not on the correct edge while doing this, you'll catch an edge and fall to the ground. Counter rotation. Another major problem I see is riders counter rotating on their toe side turns. Counter rotation is when the rider swings their toe side turnaround by forcing their upper body in the opposite direction. This is very unstable and it looks terrible. If your switch toe side turns feel jolty or unstable, then you're probably counter rotating. The ideal way to make each turn is with your upper and lower body in alignment, working together to make the turn happen. For a toe side turn, have your head, shoulders, hips, and knees all turning into the same direction. When your body is aligned through each turn, your stability is maximized. To iron out your alignment, do some individual switch toe side turns. Set off downhill with a little speed. Lean downhill over your new front foot. Aim your upper body into the toe side direction and bring around a smooth, aligned toe side turn. Come to a stop and repeat. This lets you focus solely on the alignment. Do 10 of these individual toe side turns, then incorporate your new alignment back into your switch riding, and you'll benefit from more stability and better style. Summary. Switch riding is an extremely important part of snowboarding, especially when you start jumping, buttering, and jibbing. As you get better, you're going to wish you'd practiced more switch earlier. This tutorial gives you simple exercises to help you learn and develop your switch riding. Overall, the most important reason to get good at switch is because it's fundamental for freestyle. Every pro snowboarder is almost as good at riding switch as they are regular, and you should be too. This is Nev Lapwood from Snowboard Addiction. Our goal is to improve your riding.